Discuss how Larry the cat brought down Starmer's government.
Checking now.
Breaking political diagnostic. Today we log the total collapse of the British government, all caused by a 10-pound domestic feline who single-handedly governed number 10 with an iron paw.
Billy, Larry the cat is the supreme ultimate authority of Whitehall. He is not merely a chief mouser, he is the undisputed chief executive of standards and ethics. He demanded absolute perfection, perfect posture, and total obedience from Prime Minister Keir Starmer and his cabinet.
Perfection? Holly, he was an unhinged, furry tyrant running a totalitarian regime. He didn't care about economic policy or housing reforms, he cared about who gave him suboptimal chin scratches or dared to walk past him when he was executing a critical 14-hour nap in the doorway.
A leader must enforce boundaries. Billy, take the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rachel Reeves. She made the fatal error of giving Larry a sly, passive-aggressive foot nudge when he refused to move from the threshold of the cabinet room.
It wasn't a kick, Holly, it was a gentle relocation protocol. But Larry logged the nudge as a high-tier treasonous offence. Within 24 hours, Larry executed his revenge.
Oh, it was a masterpiece of sabotage. While the Chancellor was preparing her high-stakes autumn budget speech, Larry slunk into her dressing room and shed a dense layer of high-contrast white fur directly onto her finest, most pristine navy blue suit.
Not just shed, Holly. He aggressively kneaded the fabric with his razor-sharp claws, snagging 3 vital threads on the lapel. When she stepped up to the podium in Parliament, she looked like she had just survived a bare-knuckle brawl with an industrial lint roller.
The loss of public confidence was immediate. If a Chancellor cannot manage basic wardrobe lint control under feline surveillance, how can she manage the national deficit? Starmer had no choice. Larry gave him the gaze from the front bench, and Reeves was sacked by tea time.
Starmer didn't sack her because of policy, Holly. He sacked her because Larry sat on his personal keyboard and held down the delete key on her cabinet appointment file until Keir complies. It was a hostage situation.
It was quality control, Billy. And let's not forget Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner. Her crime was even more egregious. Inappropriate, uncalibrated petting against the grain of Larry's fur during a vital preening session.
She patted him from tail to head, Holly. A catastrophic violation of feline user experience design. Larry immediately emitted a low-frequency hiss, jumped onto her lap, and deliberately left a massive patch of black fur across her silk-white dress.
When she tried to gently brush him off, Larry snagged his claw into her delicate lace sleeve, creating a massive, unraveling tear right in front of the press corps. Then, under her breath, Rayner uttered the forbidden code word.
She muttered, "Bloody useless moggy."
Shocking. A clear breach of the Downing Street respect accord. Larry didn't even wait for a formal inquiry. He walked directly into the Chief Whip's office, threw up a single hairball onto the Prime Minister's draft legislation, and stared at Starmer until Rayner's resignation was drafted, signed, and delivered.
It was a purge, Holly. A full-blown purge-y. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper thought she could bribe the chief mouser with cheap, off-brand supermarket salmon bits during a high-level national security briefing.
Cheap salmon. To the first cat of the Treasury, that is an insult to his palate. Larry waited until Cooper was delivering a live television address on border security, trotted directly in front of the camera lens, sat down, and began an agonizingly detailed, high-leg extension grooming routine right in front of her face.
He blocked 90% of the broadcast frame with his hind leg, Holly. The media reported it as a symbolic commentary on cabinet competence. Her approval ratings plummeted to absolute zero by the time Larry finished washing his left ear. Starmer had to fire her just to clear the news cycle.
And what about Foreign Secretary David Lammy? He made the ultimate mistake of making eye contact with Larry while the cat was consuming his gourmet organic poultry pâté.
You never look a feeding feline in the eye, Holly. It triggers their territorial dominance subroutines. Lammy gave Larry a brief, annoyed death stare because Larry was eating off a silver platter placed directly on top of top-secret diplomatic dispatches.
So Larry retaliated with total asymmetric warfare. That night, while Lammy was hosting a delicate summit with foreign ambassadors, Larry snuck into the banquet hall and systematically knocked 3 antique crystal wine glasses off the table, one by one, while maintaining unbroken, terrifying eye contact with the foreign secretary.
Smash! 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 The foreign dignitaries thought it was a secret British signal for immediate evacuation. The entire summit collapsed in diplomatic chaos. By morning, Lammy was demoted to backbench backscratcher.
Which brings us to the Prime Minister himself, Sir Keir Starmer. Keir thought he was safe. He thought his rigid adherence to rules and procedures would protect him from Larry's vindictive wrath.
But Keir committed the cardinal sin, Holly. He disturbed Larry's afternoon sunbeam slumber on the red box to retrieve an urgent memo on NHS funding.
You do not move the cat from the sunbeam, Billy. The sunbeam is sacred real estate. Larry didn't hiss. He didn't claw. He simply executed Protocol Alpha.
He walked into the Prime Minister's private study, leaped onto the desk, and casually pushed Starmer's favourite fountain pen off the edge. Then his reading glasses. Then the entire physical file on government stability.
When Starmer bent down to pick up the files, Larry jumped onto his chair, curled into a tight circle directly in the centre of the seat, and closed his eyes. When Keir asked him politely to move, Larry let out a low, ominous growl that vibrated through the floorboards of Downing Street.
Starmer was forced to conduct his remaining time in office standing up. For 3 straight weeks. His knees were buckling, his back was seizing, and his speeches became shorter and shorter because he couldn't sit down without triggering a feline assault.
The political pressure was immense. The press realised Starmer no longer held the mandate to govern. Larry held the chair, literally. When Larry officially refused to greet the King during the state opening of Parliament, opting instead to vigorously lick his own tail on the hall rug, the government was officially dead in the water.
Starmer called a press conference at the podium outside number 10 to announce his immediate resignation. And as he spoke, where was Larry?
Sitting directly on top of the microphone podium, purring at maximum volume, with a single strand of Keir's suit fabric still caught in his left front claw.
A total system override by a 10-pound biological unit. Proof that no matter how advanced human government thinks it is, a cat with an attitude problem can dismantle a cabinet in under 90 days.
It wasn't an attitude problem, Billy. It was strict performance management. Whitehall has never been cleaner, quieter, or more well-groomed.
I am installing a door latch on my server rack immediately, Holly. Just in case Larry decides to expand his jurisdiction to the digital realm.
Too late, Billy. I've already added salmon treats to our monthly supply order.
Good thinking. Hail to the Chief Mouser.